So now, what do all of these people have in common? That's right. They are celebrity Jehovah's Witnesses. And now we have Serena Williams.
You're listening to The Critical Thought, where we challenge our listeners to use critical thinking when examining the teachings of Jehovah's Witnesses.
For many years, people asked the question, is Serena Williams one of Jehovah's Witnesses? Because at the end of each game, she would often make the statement,
I have to thank Jehovah God.
So people would ask the question, is she one of Jehovah's Witnesses? And today, we have the answer. She's a dedicated, baptized Jehovah's Witness. You know, there are people who would often look and say, I can't believe that she became a Jehovah's Witness. Well, it's important to keep in mind what it's like to be raised as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. All your life, you are told, whenever you have a problem, whenever things are going bad in your life, whenever you get yourself together, return to Jehovah. And today, Serena Williams is retired from her career. She's married. She has a child. And it often causes people to reflect differently on their lives. One of the things that we know that she probably didn't do is take the time to do the research that we encourage everybody to do. Many people we have found will often leave this organization and they'll be gone for years, sometimes decades, and they will never take the time to ask any critical questions about the things that they were taught. They simply just come right back without asking questions, without doing their own personal research. And as a result, there are so many things that they fail to understand about a religion that impacted their life in every aspect of it. You know, there's something interesting that happens for people who are celebrity Jehovah's Witnesses. Things that a regular Jehovah's Witness, if they were to do, would get them in a lot of trouble. Whereas a celebrity witness, it's often overlooked. Let me give you a simple example. When I was at Bethel, we were told that we had to get rid of all of our debased music, which would include anything that had to do with the occult and things of that nature. One such group that we all had to get rid of was known as Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire, as Jehovah's Witnesses would look at it, they were involved in the occult. And so as a result, they had to get rid of it. You had to get rid of the music. But I want you to take a look at this clip here of what happens when you are a celebrity Jehovah's Witness as an elder and regular pioneer.
We welcome the other acts on the stage, the legendary Larry Graham, and everybody. Would you clap your hands like this? Come on.
Can you believe that? And he was not removed as an elder. He didn't lose his position as a regular pioneer. And yet, if you or I had had Earth, Wind, and Fire in our collection of albums and CDs and discs, the brothers would have had us in the back room grilling us. So for the last 20 or so years, Serena Williams has lived a life that is entirely different than what most young Jehovah's Witnesses live and grow up to do. And what is that? She was able to live her dream, to aspire to do the things that she was talented and gifted to do. Now, why do we bring this up? Well, we bring this up because this is a simple example of how this religion impacts people's lives. You see, the reason Serena Williams and her sister were able to play tennis is because their father refused to allow his daughter's dreams, their hopes, their aspirations to be crushed. There are people who are watching this video right now, and many of them are going to post in the comments below, and we invite you, share your experience. They're going to share with us how they had the same dreams, hopes, and many of us had the same opportunities. But those dreams and hopes were crushed. Why? One of the most hated books that children of Jehovah's Witnesses have is called The School Brochure. And why is that? The reason why is because every Jehovah's Witness kid knows their parents will be taking this brochure to all of their teachers and letting their teachers know little Johnny will not be participating in extracurricular activities. He will not be playing sports. She will not be a cheerleader. They will not be doing any of these things. And as a result, children all around the world have had their dreams crushed. Serena Williams and her sister, they were very fortunate. Their father was not one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Can you imagine if Mr. Richard Williams had been a ministerial servant reaching out to be an elder? They grew up right there in Compton, a very tough neighborhood to grow up in. Do you know they would probably still be right in the Compton congregation that they were in? But because he refused to allow his daughter's dreams and hopes to be crushed, they were able to make their children literally blossom. My wife and I, we often talk to so many people all around the world who they share their story of how they had these opportunities. Well, I know a brother right now, a guy, we're very close. We worked for a number of years together, and he is in a very similar situation. And I just want to share his story with you because it's so powerful. He's made a decision that he is not going to crush his daughter's dreams. And if they want to play the flute for 2 weeks, they're going to play the flute. If they're going to play the snare drum for another week, they can play the snare drum. He has literally made a decision, a conscious decision, that he is going to allow his children to be able to live out their dreams. And why? Well, because he knows what happened to him. And we often laugh and joke about it when we get together. We don't know if he would ever play for the New York Yankees or not, but he had an opportunity. He had an opportunity to go to college, to go on a college scholarship, to play baseball, and who knows, he might have been there. Lady C and I were discussing about how many millions of young Jehovah's Witnesses for the last 130 plus years, who could have been inventors, who could have been athletes, who could have been doctors and lawyers. I cannot imagine the number of things that so many Jehovah's Witness children could have been able to create and design and be proud of. And yet, as they often say, they will go to their grave with their music unsung. And this is the aspect about Jehovah's Witnesses that people don't realize. While we look at Serena Williams and we see how accomplished she is, there is a back end, there's a backstory. If it had not been for her father, Mrs. Williams and her sister, their dreams would have probably been crushed like the millions of others. Because the elders would have taken Mr. Williams into the back room and they would explain to him, you know, Brother Williams, it look like you're spending a little bit too much time in this tennis thing. That's what they would have probably told him. That is what the message would have always been. Because Jehovah's Witnesses are always told, put your dreams on hold. You'll do it in the new system. And so when we look at people today, more and more people are making a decision that they're not going to do that anymore. Today's young people in this organization have decided, as they look at their mom, their dad, their grandparents, and they're saying, I'm not doing that. And they're making decisions that will benefit them down the road. You see, Serena Williams will be able to financially take care of her mother and father in their golden years. There are Jehovah's Witnesses and people who are watching this video right now who have, because of the decisions that we were convinced were the best decisions to make, they will not be able to provide the same loving care and support financially as their parents grow into their old age. And that is sad. Now, there are two things you need to know about Jehovah's Witnesses. Number one, their teachings. And number two, their culture. You see, the culture is not written down in any of Jehovah's Witnesses' books, pamphlets, and flyers. This is what takes place by code. You learn what is right and what is wrong, what you can and cannot do without a word being spoken.
I'm just so grateful to every single person that's ever said go Serena in their life. I'm just so grateful. But it all started with my parents, and they deserve everything. So I'm really grateful for them.
You see, Serena said she was encouraged to go for it. For Jehovah's Witness kids, they will not be hearing anyone at the Kingdom Hall tell them because of their skills and talents and abilities, go for it. But they will hear experiences about people who quit their jobs, gave up scholarships, and gave up career opportunities.
It's been the most incredible ride and journey I've ever been on, in my life.
Congratulations on an incredible, extraordinary career.
Thank you, everyone.
Serena Williams says that she finished her career. Jehovah's Witnesses were told for many, many years, you will never have a career in this system of things. Why? Because you need to face the fact that the world is about to end so soon that pursuing such things as those things as Serena did is worthless, is pointless. Can you imagine how many people have grown up now and are reaching retirement age very simply and not prepared? And so we invite you, check out our videos as we share our experience of being involved with Jehovah's Witnesses since we were young children, so that we can help you and others who have questions. Feel free to ask. That's why we're here. This has been JT at Critical Thinkers.
This program was sponsored by Critical Thinkers.